only on Fight Sports.
This is the real deal.
We're expanding to a bigger unit.
It's all really scary. So come along for the ride.
Mike Brewer, Born Dealer, starts Friday, November 7 on Turbo.
The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
Hello and welcome. This is TVWAN News. I'm Carol Kiru Jr. and here are the headlines. In this edition, Kapavore questioned over logistics of medicine distribution, PM defense funding allocation, and Kumu's wary of Fiji's flare. Four Manus-based police officers and a former Manus-based police officer have been arrested and charged with the murder of their comrade, the late Constable Ralwin Lamu, on May 5, 2021 in Manus. Assistant Commissioner of Police Crimes Hodges Ete said the five individuals appeared in court on Monday, October 27th. Their case has been adjourned to January 26, 2026.
According to the police brief, it was alleged that on May 5, 2021, the deceased was on a boat with the five suspects. They were headed towards Dilau for a job. While on board, the suspects were allegedly seen hitting the deceased with hard objects at different locations near the village. ACP Crimes Hodges Ete said from information obtained by police after executing their task, the officers returned to Manus police station, but before they reached the shore, they found out that Lamu was not talking, hence they called for a police vehicle to assist with transporting him to the hospital. He was pronounced dead at the Manus Provincial Hospital. Ete said a police complaint was registered and his officers in Port Moresby travelled to Manus to investigate. Investigation eventually led to the arrest of the five men after 4 long years. The ACP Crimes added that the five were charged with murder and are in custody at Manus Police Station. They made their first appearance in court on Monday, October 27th. Their case was adjourned to January 26, 2026.
Family and relatives of late Iwa Ape have served a petition letter demanding justice, accountability and peaceful resolution on the tragic death of their breadwinner and father on earlier this month at Goldie River area. Central Provincial Police Commander Acting Superintendent Joseph Saleh was given a copy of the petition today at the Central Police Headquarters. He commended the family for pursuing a peaceful resolution process. Police have been investigating the incident for 3 weeks now.
Families of late Iva Ape of Jivaka province convened at Central Province Police Headquarters at Gordons today to present a petition to the police to do a thorough and immediate investigation, followed by judicial process to bring those irresponsible to justice. The family were covered in mud as a sign of mourning, described Ape's death as inhumane, adding that he was a family man and a sole breadwinner.
Death of my late father, Iwa Ape, and regarding those consent parties, the law, Antalo, Brown River, Chetobin, Kifara bin Bagarab Membleme, like him, justice must prevail in Charles, the death blame. One mas na why now been killing him because every one man will retaliate or make one MC's old man. So the petition we now putting go in there, consent parties one Governor Central. Rubina Fita, number 2 Koiri Hiri, member na Iri Query, Tripla, Atubla MPs na one governor, na community blo inawi, village awesome law. People like was almost come in los la petition people law, talk law, best way law, at least almost talk sorry. Lo good la inside law, I need law mas walk one time sorry. One something lo creative finish. People like one mas or make him blame or need lo come in chat. Come pay him blana. When I'm demand when put him lo petition, almost meet him.
Police located Mr. Ape's vehicle in an area in Mekeo, Kairuku district. The discovery led to the arrest of 5 suspects, all of whom are in police custody and facing potential charges in connection with the homicide. Mr. Ape's relatives went to police after wondering and worrying where he was. Police investigations led them to the discovery of Ape's body at Brown River in Central Province and then later in his vehicle. The official police report from the Central Police Command confirmed the nature of his death, which included beheading. Investigation is ongoing as police collect more evidence for prosecution.
They gave the petition. They actually really appreciate what police did and the community that assisted police in apprehension of the 5 suspects, which are now behind bars. For police, they will be working closely with us, and the community as well will continue to work on this case. We still have suspects here to bring in. I appeal for peace and calm within Central Province, and there must not be any retaliation.
Copies of the petition will be handed to the other relevant authorities of Central Province, including the Office of the Governor. Michael Tamtipais, TVWAN News.
Minister for Health Elias Kapavore made a point in Parliament this week to correct rumors circulating on social media about people dying due to a lack of medical supplies and overcrowding at the Port Moresby General Hospital mortuary. Kapavore clarified that the video now circulating was a video taken during the COVID-19 and it is not the situation now. He made this remark while responding to a question raised by the leader of the opposition and MP for Kirwina Goodenough, Douglas Tomuriesa, without notice, on the status of medical supplies in the country.
Not the point where Pagtoko sa plot yung tayo because nakat marasin. Even like Savelo, one all die come up, one areas, one place. Now I want to get, we need to get this information through, so we confirm him now, verify him. All die come up, one lab na, one cause also die too. And I'm something I'm like ask him. This the circulation of video going around in the social media now. Totok like at PMCH.
The issue of shortage of medical supplies across the country was again raised in Parliament this morning as Provincial Member for Northern Gary Juffa questioned the Minister for Health Elias Kapavore on the logistics company in Northern Province not following procedures in storing and distributing medical supplies.
Jufa argued that the company's failure to adhere to proper procedures has contributed to the ongoing shortages and affected healthcare delivery in the region.
I paid a visit to the Permanent General Hospital not too long ago in one of my routine inspections, and I spoke to the doctors there, and they told me that the issue of shortage of drugs is primarily due to these logistics companies not delivering these drugs on time or to the areas where they're supposed to deliver them to. And I was surprised to find that the companies named are the same companies that were revealed or exposed in that inquiry. So from 2019 till now, these companies are still very much operating with impunity.
The discussion highlights the ongoing challenges within the health sector, prompting calls for accountability and improved management of medical supply chains to ensure that essential healthcare resources are adequately available to all communities.
Making it very difficult for the PHA. The PHA has to actually fund the distribution of these drugs again, when this company is already paid to do so. This company was highlighted in that inquiry as being one of the bad actors. That should have been immediately, that their contract should have been terminated. But they're still there, engaged and operating. So my questions are these. Can the health minister advise us as to what he is doing with this inquiry report? Does he have a team that's going through that report to ensure that the recommendations are implemented? Now, I know
Minister Kapavore responded and assured Parliament that he will be visiting the Northern Province next week to investigate the logistics company responsible for distributing the medical supplies.
I will be going to Oro next week to see the warehouse myself and see the particular area, and so we looking at it good report the cameras. Look, Savelo, health facility, he also want him. This the warehouse here and when one process now, only make him. So by me, Oro, I know that you have done a lot of good work there, operating theater that needs to be commissioned after some years, and extra facilities coming back on. I'll come to Oro next week and visit that place.
Freddie Mo, TVWAN News.
Member for Kabum Patrick Bassa has sought answers in Parliament today, seeking to know the cause of death of 7 people at Angau Provincial Hospital in Leh 2 weeks ago after the prolonged blackout at the hospital. However, Minister for Health Elias Kapavore confirmed that 5 people died and not 7, and stated the fact that almost 20 hours of blackout caused the deaths.
In Parliament today, Member for Kabum, Patrick Bassa, raised urgent questions regarding the recent deaths of patients at Angau Provincial Hospital in Leh following a prolonged blackout at the facility 2 weeks ago. Bassa sought clarification on the circumstances surrounding the incident, which has drawn significant public concern.
Suppose there's a problem inside Lonsla PHA, Morobe, in a Bayu talking people from Morobe and people from Papua New Guinea. Why? One mass, not the generator wasn't working on that day, the very day. Suppose Osla die and come up because of Nogat Marasin. Minister, you find out now you talking me blah. Why not? Suddenly, 7 people dead on the same day.
Minister for Health Elias Kapavore responded by confirming that 5 individuals had actually died rather than the 7 initially reported. He attributed these tragic deaths to the nearly 20-hour blackout, during which critical medical services and equipment reliant on power were compromised.
Report comes 20 hours straight power blackout now. Standby generator blow suppose like kicking area even have been walked to. So we have actually established all these facts now that equal management now we got board staff long, make sure that all these things are happening. I'm just presenting the report that actually happened on this particular date, on the 18th to 19th. Actually, we do not agree. We condemn these particular arrangements, and each of the PHAs they are responsible. They are responsible. They've given money. They're supposed to make sure that there is a standby every time system in place.
Minister Kapavore further emphasized the need for immediate solutions to prevent future incidents and ensure the hospital can maintain essential services during power outages, highlighting ongoing challenges in the healthcare infrastructure.
Issue about the blackout, I'm affecting my generator blow. Saya lausik na usik ya sila cenderita inopin alto kita samla isu longan al try best to straight him. That actually that number of hours resulted in yes we can talk clear. Member talk lo 7 blood die but tiga report ikam lo CEO lo up talk lo 5 blood die. We got 5 blood die come out. 1 blood die me die time only wait lo emergency department. Somebody was rushed to emergency department during the time when there was a blackout, so unfortunately I lose a life man. Now you got 4 blood where they were expected deaths. Everything was some prognosis long and poor and they were actually waiting to die.
The discussion reflects ongoing concerns about the state of medical facilities and the urgent need for upgrades and reliable power sources to safeguard patient care. Kapawara further appealed to business houses in Leh to assist the Enga Hospital and rectify the challenges. Freddie Mo, TVWAN News.
Prime Minister James Marape has reaffirmed that the government has been fair and consistent in distributing funding support to districts and provinces since taking office in 2019. He rejected claims of bias or political victimization made in Parliament by the member for Chuave, James Nomane, on Tuesday. Marape emphasized that his government has maintained a policy of fairness and accountability in the District Services Improvement Program and Provincial Services Improvement Program allocations.
Prime Minister James Marape has reiterated the government's commitment to equitable funding support across all districts and provinces in Papua New Guinea since he took office in 2019. This statement is a response to accusations of bias and political victimization made by member for Chuave, James Nomane, during the parliamentary session on Tuesday.
The good member tries to sensationalize that we've been victimizing Simbu. Far from it. He's been running this line for the last few years. He's got every right to think this way. But I want to tell the nation and to the good people of Simbu, you have not been systematically victimized. You have every right to ask on how much your districts have received or your province have received. This question is in order. The finance minister and the finance department is compelled to put out in public advertisement how much has been transferred to all districts and provinces.
Member for Chuave, James Nomane, claimed that the people of Chuave only received 7 million kina this year.
The Super Provincial Government, Mr. Speaker, has received 8.8 million kina in functional grants for 2025. It's due 34 million. That means that in the last 3 quarters of the year, 9 months, this government has just given Super Provincial Government only 25% of what it's due.
The Prime Minister, however, affirmed that every district and province receive benefits irrespective of political affiliations, underscoring his government's dedication to inclusive development throughout the country. PM Marape further explained that even members of parliament on the opposition side have received over half of their DSIP allocations to date, including other components such as infrastructure and kina for kina policy grants, so long as their projects align with government development priorities under the Medium-Term Development Plan 4.
We've tried our utmost best to be fair to all districts and all provinces right across our country. If we were not fair, this year the Suava district would not have received 7 million kina transferred to the district to date. If we were not fair. All members in the opposite side knows also that they have received at minimum over 50% of all DSIP allocations.
The Prime Minister also noted that since 2019, a total of 56 billion kina has been disbursed through the budget process to provinces, districts, government departments, and statutory bodies, all documented and transparent. Freddie Mo, TVWAN News.
After the break, PM Marape tables final report on the review of the form and system of government election of the Prime Minister by the people.
For too long, banking has felt out of reach for many. But now, BSP's One-Took Wallet is here to change that. Send and receive money, pay bills, and top up. It's your money, wherever, whenever. Because at BSP, we are committed to improving how our customers connect to our One-Toks, to our family, to the ones we love. BSP's One-Took Wallet. Money made easy. Dial *131# for everyone.
From the rich soils of the highlands, the finest coffee has been grown by generations of Papua New Guineans, expertly blended and roasted with over 80 years of experience, making the finest cup of Nescafe New Guinea blend, PNG's own coffee.
For Simon, life is simple. Dreams seem distant, yet hope remains. One ticket, one dream. Simon's world changed forever. Yes! From small dreams to big possibilities. The One-Took jackpot is here for everyone. Win big every day.
Cold Power's Citrus Blast uses stain-fighting active particles to remove dirt, grease and stains from your family's washing with less scrubbing and rubbing, reducing wear and tear and saving you time. Cold Power's Citrus Blast has an amazing citrus fragrance that gives that extra freshness that will last all day long.
The PNG LNG project has now generated more than 30 billion kina for Papua New Guinea since production commenced. Nearly half of this amount has been paid as tax. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levies and royalties are paid to DPE. For more information on direct and indirect benefits, visit PNG EITI's website.
We should eliminate the enemy at all costs. No matter where we go, our enemies always seem to find us. I don't think they'll be able to leave the country. What are you waiting for? Do it now! He made us look stupid and incompetent fools!
What'll happen to us now? We won't stop until we make things right and better for our beloved country.
Welcome back. Prime Minister James Marape has tabled the final report on the review of the form and system of government election of the Prime Minister by the people in Parliament today. This report by the Constitutional and Law Reform Commission looks into the system of government the country has been using.
Prime Minister James Marape in Parliament today presented the final report on the review of the form and systems of government, election of the Prime Minister by the people. This document, prepared by the Constitutional and Law Reform Commission, examines the current governmental framework in Papua New Guinea and proposes potential reforms regarding the process of electing the Prime Minister. The report aims to enhance democratic governance by exploring alternative systems for electing the Prime Minister that could lead to greater accountability and representation.
It is time now we relook at the system that has carried us. The good is preserved, entranced, amplified, including the separation of our three arms of government and the deficiencies that we have identified in the last 50 years must be worked upon going forward.
Prime Minister Marape emphasized the importance of this review in fostering a more responsive and transparent government to serve the needs of the citizens.
The report by CLRC, which is now before us, sets the direction for us to take for the growth, development, and prosperity of this country. As a government and as a country, we must not be scared of changes, however daunting it may be, especially the necessary change for progress and prosperity. This report with its recommendations are not intended to serve my own interests or the interests of this government. Rather, it is to serve the greater national interest of our country, a construct that is taken the same breath as other reforms has taken before. This is now tabled for us to read through, debate, argue, and collectively we all find a path forward.
As discussions unfold in Parliament, the report is expected to ignite debates about the future direction of the country's political structure and electoral processes, marking a crucial step towards potential constitutional reforms.
I believe that if we look at the 7 recommendations and pose it with a question, will recommendation number 1 improve the health and education standards of this country? Will it do that? Will changing from a 3-tier to a 2-tier system lead the country to improve health, improve education, improve economy?
I would have expected the CLRC to look at the system that allows, for example, you have people in Oro, or the people of Morobe. We just heard about the problems at Angao. But the people of Morobe have no control, or the PHA has no control. The provincial government has no control over who is supplying the power. They have no control over who is supplying the medicine. In fact, they have no say.
Marape said the government has decided that the country must pause and reflect as it reaches 50 years of existence as a nation and see whether the country is on the right path and doing the right thing to achieve its goals under national strategies such as the medium-term development plans, the Vision 2050, the national goals and directive principles, and the Constitution. Freddie Mo, TVWAN News.
National Institute of Standards and Industrial Technology has signed a historical memorandum of understanding with PNG Customs Services on Monday this week. The partnership would be strategic in improving compliance and enforcing regulatory arrangements, as in recent times there have been issues of non-compliance.
The National Institute of Standards and Industrial Technology and PNG Customs signed a Memorandum of Understanding this week, which will see the Chief Customs Commissioner sit on the board of NICIT, giving customs access to industries across the country. The NICIT Act 1993 outlines customs' mandate to oversee technical standards, metrology, conformity assessment, productivity, and technical barriers to trade in PNG. It is important for NICIT to accredit the manufacturers of products that are harmful, such as tobacco, cigarette, alcohol, and more. These producers have to keep safety standards in producing and selling their products to the consumers. Customs Chief Commissioner David Towe said Customs has collaborated with other relevant state agencies and private sector, but now aligning customs policies and standards with the NICIT, a very strategic move in improving compliance and enforcing regulatory arrangements, as in recent times there have been issues of non-compliance. He said using NICIT standards, PNG Customs will release annual certification to its clients to comply with all requirements.
NICIT is a very strategic organization. Government doesn't see the importance of NICIT, but at some point in time, we need to elevate the importance and
the strategic importance of NISIT, because countries are built on standards, not just one up there, another one up there, another one next to the floor.
With the signing of this MOU, NISIT will be introduced to the industrial clients so they can familiarize with standards that they are supposed to comply with in their business operations. Licenses for operations are issued annually upon meeting quality and international standards. Frida Kana, TVWAN News.
Festivities for the annual Bougainville Chocolate Festival kicked off today at the Hujana Oval in Bougainville. The Bougainville cocoa bean is once again the star of the show over the next 3 days. The festival is an important community outreach event for cocoa, emphasizing innovation, diversification, value-adding, quality control, and growth within Bougainville's cocoa industry. The autonomous Bougainville government's Department of Primary Industries and Marine Resources is hosting the 2025 event under the theme Bougainville Island of Cocoa. Farmers will join in workshops and discussions about the cocoa sector and other agribusiness opportunities. School students will take part in quizzes and budding competitions, and bakers will have the opportunity to showcase their skills. This has delivered increased participation in the cocoa sector by families, women, men, and youth. Papua New Guinea's Tourism Promotion Authority today swore in its new board. This marks a renewed chapter for the nation's tourism sector. The ceremony took place in Port Moresby, witnessed by government officials and industry representatives. The new board fulfills the TPA's legal mandate under the Tourism Promotion Authority Act of 1993, ensuring proper governance and oversight in managing the country's tourism priorities. Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture, Belden Nama, congratulated the appointees after the swearing-in, describing tourism as a key driver of economic growth and community participation. He said tourism is an engine for employment, SME growth, and regional development. With a functional board in place, they can now move forward with greater unity and purpose. TPA Chief Executive Officer Eric Mossman Uvovo highlighted the significance of the new board in strengthening governance and driving policy implementation.
Tourism is a dynamic industry, and it's like a cross-cutting industry that goes through all the other major industries like agriculture, you have to put tourism in there, all these others. So the representation of the board members is diverse, and what we have here is a mixture of very professional people. I'd like to also take this time to congratulate the deputy chairman of this new board, Captain James Pima, who will basically head the new board. And the new board provides the direction for the management of TPA. So it's very timely that we have had a new board. We haven't had a board for nearly over a year. Eventually we went a board, NEC has appointed it. It's been formalized to a gazette. And here we have to formally tell Papua New Guinea and the tourism industry that the board is in place and we will start working.
The new TPA board, along with its management team, will serve a 2-year term, focusing on improving tourism governance, partnerships, and sustainable development initiatives that empower local businesses and communities. With renewed leadership and energy, the TPA board aims to reposition Papua New Guinea as a leading destination in the Pacific. The newly appointed Deputy Chairman of the Tourism Promotion Authority Board, Captain James Pima, says it's time for fresh leadership and energy in steering Papua New Guinea's tourism sector forward. Speaking at the swearing-in ceremony, Captain Pima shared his passion, experience and vision for a vibrant tourism future. Pima's appointment symbolizes renewed confidence in leadership drawn from within the industry.
Credibility and meaning to it. I'd like to, on behalf of the board, firstly thank the government for entrusting us with the responsibility of steering the Tourism Promotion Authority for the next 2 years. Special mention to Minister Tourism Minister himself, Honorable Benanama, for having faith and trust in pushing us and endorsing us through cabinet to our eventual appointment. That's why we're here, because of his level of comfort in our abilities and how much what we can contribute to the industry.
And now let's take a look at the finance news. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2376 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2301 $0.3468 Australian dollars, $0.1894 euro, and 34.70 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold and copper closed higher, coffee, cocoa, palm oil, and crude oil closed lower, and copra closed the day unchanged. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, the ASX closed lower, and all ordinaries closed lower as well. You're watching TV1 News. We'll have the day's other stories after the break.
Banking doesn't have to be complicated. With PSP's One Talk Wallet, control your money wherever, whenever. Dial *131#, enter your PIN, select cash in or out, and generate a secure code to withdraw cash. It's the only wallet for cardless ATM withdrawals. Send and receive funds, pay for goods and bills, or withdraw cash with ease. All with BSP's One Talk Wallet. BSP's One Talk Wallet. Money made easy. Dial *131# today.
Magic Golden Ticket Promotion e-come back. Now by Pinis long 30th November 2025. Piny Magic Golden Ticket long you, long winning share long 500,000 kina inside long packet magic chicken or beef noodles. All prizes start 50,000 kina, 20,000 kina, 1,000 kina, na 500 kina. Open packet long magic noodles na Piny Golden Ticket long come up winner. No can wait. Buy magic noodles now.
A moment of love, a dream, a laugh, a kiss, a cry, a rock, a roll, just stay
there. Life is about making memories, sharing new adventures. Go beyond the familiar. Don't let bacteria hold you back from experiencing the world. Protex uses natural antibacterial protection with flaxseed oil and eliminates 99.9% of bacteria. Free yourself. Go beyond with Protex.
Long year 2024, 7 baby I born one time HIV. HIV I can go long baby long triple rot. Time bel mama I get HIV, long time long carrying baby, na time baby is susu. Tasol Yumi can help him bel mama, long look out him baby inside long bell. Go quick time long bell mama clinic, na kiss him antenatal check. Time Yumi pan him sick HIV area, or time bell mama I positive penis, early treatment I can save him baby. Give him baby healthy start long life. Stop him spread long sick HIV eagle long baby. This lutok sawa I come long National AIDS Council Secretariat.
Enjoying life when we work together, making happy memories that last forever. Hiding, talk, young or old, a scale-raised family meal with home. We'll bring out the smiles, cause it's our favorite reminds. Sandy, see, cola, scale, rise, don't scale, scale, price. Sandy, see, cola, scale, rise, don't scale, scale, price. Amber, you like it?
This is the real deal.
We're expanding to a bigger unit.
It's all really scary. So come along for the ride.
Mike Brewer Born Dealer starts Friday, November 7 on Turbo.
Welcome back. The Popondetta district is investing in its future, sponsoring 18 local students to pursue studies in China. Popondetta MP Richard Masere today farewelled the scholars. He urged the students to serve as good ambassadors of Papua New Guinea during their time overseas. The first group of 9 students departed immediately, with the remaining students scheduled to leave next week. Their study pathway is supported through the District Services Improvement Program under the Education Portfolio.
The program is to fund our young people through education. And this is the education sector that now some of these young students are beneficiary of. So, the challenge now is that they continue to progress through the education system in China and do us all proud in Papua New Guinea. Of course, there's been a lot of coaching going on, be good ambassadors in China, to concentrate on studies. They are very privileged among a lot of young people that applied for this particular program. They were selected, few that we selected based on their marks. So as long as they do well in China, they can even guarantee to the next lot of students that this program will continue and we will continue to support them for the district.
The community of Anglim Kuli electorate in Jiwaka province did not conduct the local level government elections due to discrepancies with the establishment of 14 new wards. The community hosted a peaceful protest yesterday to petition the provincial and local level governments, the Electoral Commission and other relevant authorities to explain why the new wards were created before the LLG elections.
The establishment of 14 new wards in the Anglim Kuli electorate ahead of the LLG elections has raised concerns among the voting public. The affected voters have been writing to those responsible but did not receive good feedback since then. Now, with the LLG elections, the community was reluctant to vote as their grievances were not addressed. They hosted a protest yesterday in Bans. Spokesperson Jonathan Wee said the petition contains immediate action against the establishment of the wards.
I'm not happy. The people have protested. It's a boycott, a peaceful boycott. They have blocked the national highway. The Prime Minister has to intervene. The relevant authorities have to intervene and then look to address the issue on the ground that the people of Jiwaka province and especially the people in Anglim LLG are currently facing.
It said the petition also contains the demands to access the Electoral Roll 2025 for the new wards created purposely to see if the names listed are ghost names or not.
A lot of ghost names, a lot of fake names have been entered and created for these new wards.
He clarified that on March 31st, 2025, they lodged a judicial review at the National Court but were denied a fair hearing.
And we have, beginning this year, we have raised a judicial review. And we have lodged the judicial review on the 31st March this year. And it has been trapped within the National Court registry for about 4 months. And it was not, the judicial review was not given to a judge for a fair hearing.
We said should this issue is addressed, the people will conduct the elections, but if not, those responsible must declare their LLG election as failed and conduct a new election in 2026 should this issue be dealt with.
Request the national government to probably declare the elections for Anglim LLG, particularly for Anglim Open Electorate, a failed election for this year. Allow the current presidents, LLG presidents, allow the current councillors to remain, and then until in such a time when we get all these issues solved, that's a time when a new election could be conducted.
Tracy Pa, TVWAN News.
In Balimo, Western Province, community pride filled the air as the Roy Biama Balimo Academy showcased the true meaning of progress, proving that quality education can grow from the humblest beginnings to shape brighter futures. The emotional celebration highlighted how the late Roy Biama's vision continues to transform Western Province, with every student now carrying the torch of change, education, and opportunity forward. In news overseas, mining in Antarctica and its surrounding waters is banned under an international treaty system. But a document linked to the recent arrest of a scientist has raised questions about Russia's long-term interest in Antarctic oil.
Antarctica is designated as a natural reserve. But in the 1980s, some countries were eyeing off its mineral resources.
I actually said to myself, bullshit, and that's what it was. I mean, here was the one remaining pristine continent in the world.
Australia's then Prime Minister Bob Hawke led a successful international push for an indefinite mining ban on the icy continent.
Australia and the Green Movement are claiming victory for their campaign to prevent mining in the Antarctic.
But questions are now being raised about Russia's long-term adherence to the ban. A Russian document linked to the recent arrest of a Ukrainian scientist in occupied Crimea says proposed marine protected areas in Antarctica would lead to the loss of the opportunity to develop hydrocarbon resources by Russia on the continental shelf of Antarctica.
It's possible that within the Russian government there's some thinking of a desire to undertake these sort of activities in the future. It's hard to tell.
In a statement, the Department of Foreign Affairs said Australia expects all Antarctic Treaty parties to comply with all of their obligations under the Environmental Protocol.
We should be pressing them very hard on what their activities are and what their activities are intended to lead to.
The ABC approached the Russian government and its Antarctic Research Institute for comment, but neither replied. The Russian embassy in Australia said it had no comment to make on the matter.
Sports news is next. Comores wary of Fiji's flair in this weekend's Pacific Champs match. Stay tuned.
The PNG LNG project has now generated more than 30 billion kina for Papua New Guinea since production commenced. Nearly half of this amount has been paid as tax. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levies and royalties are paid to DPE. For more information on direct and indirect benefits, visit PNG EITI's website.
Why? Semakin bapak seharian.
Auntie, come go kill. David Loran. You passed it. Spots. It's in me.
Dare to be different, drive with passion. Looking for a ride that's unique, classy, or high performance, whether it's for work, family, or luxury, Freeway Motors has you covered. And this month, don't miss our crazy sales. Unbeatable deals on top quality vehicles tailored to your budget. Hurry in and unleash the extraordinary. Drive with style before these deals are gone. Freeway Motors, driven by innovation.
Meet YumiPay, your digital wallet from TISA Bank. Your gateway to seamless transactions. Withdraw cash anytime at your nearest TISA agent. Send money to family and friends.
Hello, son.
Anytime, anywhere. Top up and pay with just a scan. From taxis to coffee and small businesses, YumiPay makes every payment simple. YumiPay, powered by TISA Bank.
For the very first time in Papua New Guinea, Mel Research and Marketing Consultants proudly launched the 5th issue of the Mel Review magazine commemorating PNG's 50th Golden Jubilee independence. 2 volumes, 500 pages each. Volume 1 covers government politics and leadership, while Volume 2 highlights the private sector, state-owned entities as service providers, and NGOs. Together, they cover the period from 1972 to 2025. This 1,000-page collection reflects PNG's 50 years and sets the foundation for the next 50.
in PNG, we have 3 different kinds of malaria parasites.
Most of the PNG flat areas, plainland areas are hugely burdened with malaria. Many of the health facilities are very distantly situated.
We blame Sosorans and Sanguma Susi because of mosquito fever is very high.
But who were also victims of an unsuspected enemy, mosquitoes.
What's in our hands to finally eradicate this pandemic?
Blindside and is celebrating a try.
Thanks for staying with us. An epic showdown is expected this weekend when PNG Kumuls and Fiji Bati face off in the 2025 Pacific Championships Bowl title challenge at the Santos National Football Stadium, Port Moresby. From the outset, PNG is in the box seat to go all out to retain the silverware. However, they will be up against a formidable Bati side that has a lot of strike and flair across the park.
The Kumuls have a lot of respect for their Fiji opponents and are wary of what they can bring to the table on game day. The Fiji side known for their flamboyant style of football, but again, Kumuls coach Jason Demetrio expressed confidence that they have a game plan that can limit and nullify Fiji's second phase play. He added that the Kumuls pack needs to improve their defensive structure and mindset to stop Fiji's running game.
Yeah, for sure. We spoke about that. Their second phase game. Obviously, Bull is a real threat, and he'll be their go-to. And he's a phenomenal talent. Admire watching him play and how he goes about his business. But if we can put the ball in the right areas of the field, we can limit his involvement. But their second phase is a big part of their game. We saw that last week. They get some second phase. They got some individuals with great feet and speed. So we've got to stay connected with our defence.
Coach Demetrio has also made some changes to the lineup this week, which reflects the focus on beefing up their pack with strong defense and plenty of aggression in their attack. Valentine Richard moves into the starting 13 to partner Epel Capinias, adding size and strength to the forward pack. Jack DeBellin reverts to the lock position.
Getting Val back in gives us a bit more aggression, a bit more punch up through the middle third of the field. I feel like we just need a bit more size in that middle third, and the Fijians are going to come for us through that middle third. There's no doubt about that. So, I'm looking forward to Val starting. And then, what was the other change? And Rob Mattias coming in on the bench. I think, we went in the game with 4 forward bench last week, and Rob gives us some versatility. Who can play in the outside backs, or he can come on in the second row. And I think he offers a bit more punch and a bit more speed through the middle third as well. So.
Additionally, Blackhawks flyer Dudley Dotoi makes his debut, replacing Robert Derby. Dotoi brings speed, aggression, and creativity to the edges, which will be crucial in counteracting the dynamic Fijian attack.
Yeah, for me, it's, as I've said, it's about getting players ready for a World Cup, and Dudley's earned his debut. There's no doubt about that. He's been the form winger in the Queensland Cup. His statistics and his try scoring are phenomenal, and we saw that in the PMs as well. So I'm really excited to see him get his debut. And Rob, is ever consistent. You know what you get from Rob. I have a lot of trust in Rob and what he does. And again, I know what it means to him to put that shirt on, and having some explosive someone coming that can come off the bench and create some line breaks and some second phase will be important for us as well.
Coach Demetrio has been impressed with the Kumuls' new spine in Lachlan Lamb and Garo Voro at the halves, and Leopards' live wire Edwin Ipape at dummy half, but defensively, they have to do better. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
The 2025 NCD Corporate Beach Volleyball Competition served up a spectacular first round of games at Ella Beach, with top corporate teams battling it out in the mixed women's and men's divisions. The teams showcased not only their skill and strategy, but also the corporate spirit of teamwork, fitness, and friendship.
The NCD Corporate Volleyball is turning up the heat in Port Moresby with a good turnout last Saturday. The mixed division featuring 2 men and 2 women per team produced some of the most exciting matches of the day. The women's division saw fierce competition with teams in long rallies and close finishes. In Pool A, Education stood tall, securing crucial wins over Digicel 2 and Sunev Tees 2-1 and IRC 2-0. Sunev Tees also put on a strong showing, defeating PM and NEC 2 and IRC 2-0 to stay in the top mix. Digicel proved their potential with a win over IRC 2 with 2-0, while IRC 2 gained valuable experience despite facing tough opposition. The men's division delivered explosive action, featuring powerful serves and top finishes. In Pool A, favourites Sunev Tees defeated both Education and IRC 2 by 2-1 in thrilling 3-set encounters, asserting their dominance early in the competition. With round 1 complete, the competition is heating up. Teams will return to Ella Beach this weekend to complete their remaining pool games and battle for a place in the finals and grand finals set for Saturday, November 8. Susan Oreape, TVWAN Sports.
In preparation for November 1st, an NRL club has reportedly held informal talks with Canterbury Bulldogs star-back rower Viliame Kikau in an attempt to lock down his services.
In preparation for November 1, an NRL club has reportedly held informal talks with Canterbury Bulldogs star-back rower Viliame Kikau in an attempt to lock down his services. Arriving at Belmore in 2023 after back-to-back premierships with the Penrith Panthers, Kikau has been instrumental to the Bulldogs' success over the past couple of seasons, which has seen them rise from the bottom of the ladder to the top 4. In this past season alone, he led the NRL for most charged downs, 6, had the 4th most offloads in the competition, 61, and was one of the best back rowers with his aggression and explosiveness. The Fijian international is said to garner a ton of interest from the start of November once he becomes available on the open market and is worthy of a wage increase. However, the 30-year-old is said to remain in blue and white colours. While reports emerged earlier in the year that 7 overseas rugby union clubs were closely monitoring his future, it is reported Kikau and the Bulldogs have held informal talks about a potential 2-year contract extension. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
The Fiji Airways men's national sevens team faces a tough challenge at the HSBC Sevens Dubai Sevens after being drawn in a strong pool alongside Argentina, South Africa and France. Fiji will head into the tournament as the defending champions, having beaten Spain 19-5 in last year's final.
This year's competition format will have no quarterfinals, with only 2 top teams from each pool advancing straight to the semi-finals. Australia heads Pool B, which also features Great Britain, New Zealand and Spain. Fiji's first pool match is against Argentina on November 29, followed by South Africa and France on November 30. Meanwhile, the Fijiana Sevens have been drawn in Pool A with New Zealand, France and the USA. They will open their campaign against the USA on November 29, then face France and New Zealand on November 30. The Dubai Sevens will be held from November 29 to December 1. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
And that ends the sports segment. Now for the weather forecast. Southern region, Port Moresby, partly cloudy, then few showers and possible thunderstorms. Popondetta, cloudy periods, then some rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Momase, Lae, partly cloudy, then few showers. Medang, cloudy periods, then few rain showers and possible thunderstorms. New Guinea Islands, Lorengau, mostly fine, then partly cloudy. Kimbe and Boka, cloudy periods with some rain, then rain showers and possible thunderstorms. And Highlands region, Mende, Tari and Wabeg, cloudy periods with some rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Oceans forecast. Coral Sea, seas slight to moderate with southwest to southeast winds of 10 to 15 knots, reaching 20 knots at times. Solomon Seas, seas slight to moderate with east to southeasterly winds of 10 to 15 knots. Bismarck Sea, seas smooth to slight with northeast to southeast winds of 5 to 15 knots. Pacific Ocean, seas smooth to slight with east to southeast winds of 5 to 15 knots. And coastal waters. Waters of southern PNG and Indonesian border to Daru to Kiwai Island, to Kerama to Yule Island to Hood Point to Samurai Island. Seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. Waters of Manus and its western group of islands. Seas 0.5 to 1 meter, rising to 2.5 meters at times. And waters of New Britain Island and Bougainville. Seas 1 to 2 meters. And that wraps up the news tonight. Do take care of yourself out there. Good night.
The TVWAN News was proudly brought to you by